this year, what are some of the things you're looking forward to experimenting?
As far as the league?
Yes, as far as the league. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting better each and every day. I feel like football is the ultimate game of self-assessing. So you always have to self-assess yourself and always ways to get better. So that's my main thing, just focusing on getting better day in and day out and not taking anything for granted.
Okay, now you're also going back to school. So talk about that. How far along are you?
Yeah, so I'm like a few classes away, more than probably 2-3 semesters out. And so I'm just trying to get back. Obviously left school early, so just trying to get back and finish what I started because I promised myself that I would actually finish it once I even if I left early. So it's just good to be back, and then the University of Georgia working with me, so it's just great.
Okay. Now, I know you're a little removed from the college game, but talk about Georgia as they're getting ready this year. What are your thoughts about just the program, just trying to replace some of the guys and just looking at outlook, especially with what Jake is doing leading the team?
Oh, yeah, he's a phenomenal leader. He was a good leader, stand-up guy when I was there, so I know it's only gotten better since I've left. And then he has a lot of weapons around him with Swift and the receiving core, and then the defense always been pretty good. So those guys just have to stay consistent and not get complacent, and I think they can write their own story.
You got a chance to play in Soldier Field and in Sanford Stadium. Talk about the two and compare the two, and just what is it like to be in those instances?
Both environments are like electric. Sanford Stadium, that's all I knew once I was there, so it was sweet being able to be there. Soldier Field, not as loud as Stanford, but there's definitely a lot of history that's in there, and just knowing all the legends that played before me that stepped on that soil, and it means a lot and kind of put things in perspective for me.
Okay. And I guess just lastly, I guess what is the message that you want to send to the kids, and as far as going forward and what things that they can get out of life, not only just in football but just in life in general?
Just taking advantage of every opportunity that you're presented with in life, and growing each and every day, no matter how big it is, and like I said, not taking anything for granted, and taking care of your schoolwork first and foremost, because where I am now is not a large percentage, 1%. So to think about that and put that in perspective, guys definitely need to hone in on the academics and get a free ride if they can, academics or football, and let that take care of their academics and so on and so forth.
How important was it to have this camp here in Macon County and not Athens or in Atlanta, but here?
It was huge to have this camp here in Macon County, where I grew up. So being able, kids that I was once in their shoes, kind of like show them like there's a way out. Very small town, not much to do here. Everyone knows everyone, but it means a lot just to be able to give back to the kids that and knowing how I felt one day when I was in their shoes. So it's definitely very special, and I'm just very grateful to be in the position I am.
Being on this field, to bring back any memories? You're smelling Troy's over there. Any memories just being back on this field today?
Yeah, a crap ton of memories, just looking up and down the sideline. I remember sitting on the sideline Friday night, nothing like it. I've played crap ton of college, played a few games in the league. It's nothing like the Friday night lights. I feel like you can hear every voice in the crowd, whereas in college and pros, you can't really hear people, but it's very special, and it's nothing like it.
Okay, and last thing, we're celebrating 30 years of Football Friday Night. Do you remember those nights going home and watching, see if you made the Rib Rocker or just watching Football Friday Night at all?
Absolutely. I remember growing up, since a kid, I remember watching way before I was out on the field, so that was definitely sweet. And then just looking up to see which highlights, and was 13 at my game, so that was definitely sweet, and just seeing the highlights and everything like that, so it was definitely sweet. And then keeping up with the other Middle Georgia talent.